we are back with another episode for you. Welcome to the Local Legend podcast. My name is Maya, your host.
And my name is Michelle Espinoza, and I am the co-host. And today we're excited to welcome Jose Ezequiel Funes, the owner of Y&Y Event and Party Rental, to the Local Legend podcast. With 12 years in business, Jose has built a company that's become vital to the Eastvale community. His hard work and dedication have earned multiple nominations, winning this year's Small Business of the Year and Ambassador of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
From being featured in city videos to hosting large-scale events for local schools and churches, Jose's journey is proof that passion and persistence can create lasting success. So let's dive into his story.
Welcome, Jose.
Thank you.
I am excited to learn about your story. I know a lot of people have mentioned that you have such a great and inspiring story, which is why we have you here today.
Great.
So you can share with others. So let's start with our first question and take us back to the early days. Okay, how you came about with your business, and I think initially started in. You're from where?
El Salvador.
El Salvador,
Yeah.
so Central America.
Yeah.
So what motivated you to come to the U.S. and despite all the challenges you faced, you made it through?
Okay. That's a good question. I actually come from El Salvador, which is a third world country. It was a civil war going over there.
Wow.
And at that time, it was very bad. So I come from a single mom, and she wanted something different for us. So she decided to bring us to the United States, one at a time. She brought the oldest ones first, and then I was the last one. I lived in Mexico 1 year with a friend of hers, and I came here pretty much escaping from war,
Wow.
from El Salvador, a poor country. And I got here, and it's just totally different, and that's how I made it to the United States. So technically, I became a refugee, and I was able to stay in this country safe and make it my home.
And how old were you when you
When I left my country, I was 13 years old,
Wow.
in 1988.
Wow. So give us a little bit of what it was to live as a young boy in that atmosphere.
Yeah, it is tough because it was a civil war, government against the guerrilla, and there was a lot of confrontations any given day, any given time. So when there was a confrontation between them, we had to hide, throw ourselves on the ground to protect ourselves from getting hit by a bullet.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
And then that happening in my community, where I'm from, and many parts of the country. So it was, at the beginning, we couldn't understand what was going on, but we made it part of our life because it happened often, quite often. So my mom didn't want that for us. So it was very tough.
Yeah.
To this day, if I hear a gunshot,
It's traumatizing.
Yeah. It's
I go like this
PTSD.
all the time. So we were able to survive thanks to my mom that she built a wall in our house
Wow.
made of volcanoes, rocks, about this tall.
Wow.
So every night, we didn't know what was going to happen. Every night we would sleep on the floor against that wall.
Wow.
So we'd stay protected from any confrontations.
And was
during-
this outside your home or inside your home?
It was the front wall of our house.
Okay.
Yeah. So to this day, the wall is still there.
Wow. You still have the home?
We still have the house. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And have you gone back?
I've gone back twice. After so many years, I went back twice, and it brought a good memories because I got to see people that I haven't seen
Grew
in
up
years.
with, yeah.
But it brought a lot of sorrow because of what I went through.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. But it's part of life. Nothing's easy. But I'm glad I'm here.
And your mom is your hero.
My mom is my hero. She doesn't know how to read or write.
Okay.
But she knew she was good at numbers, and she was good at working, and she knew that by staying in El Salvador, it was not going to be safe for us. So we raise animals and sell them, and buy more animals and sell them. So she raised money to save and work the land. We used to work the land. We used
So
to,
your mom was an entrepreneur.
Yeah. My mom, we worked the field, the land. We used to grow rice, beans, corn, watermelons. So I'm a farmer, you can say that.
Wow.
So whenever we had a good season, good harvest, we would sell it and make money off of it and restart over again next year. So yeah, I know how to plant rice.
Wow. Well, that's
I didn't
amazing
know that
to
about you.
hear.
Yeah.
That is amazing that your mom, as a single mom, was able to bring yourself and all your brothers over here, because that must be tough, you know?
It is tough, but like I said, because she doesn't know how to read or anything, so she didn't have that education.
Which is kind of common in
It is very
in
common.
North South
Yes.
America.
Yeah, and
Like Mexico and
yeah.
Central.
In Central America, yeah. I didn't actually went to school in El Salvador, like from kinder to like 7th grade. I never went to school. I went to school with my brothers because I was supposed to be babysitted by them. So they went to school. I went to school, and I just kind of. But
Just
it
tagged
wasn't like
along.
a school with a classroom. It just like a,
Yeah, nothing like here.
yeah, nothing like here. Yeah. So
Wow.
I don't have a lot of education.
And yet you're successful.
A successful business
That's
owner.
amazing.
So thank you for sharing that with us. I have another question for you. What role has your cultural background played in shaping the values and vision of Y&Y Event and Party Rental?
I guess hard work. You know, I have learned that when you put yourself to something and you want to do it, you want to do it right. And it takes time, but if you stay focused and you know how you want it to be done, it can be done. It takes a lot of work, a lot of stress. My mom taught me how to work. And like I said, I don't have a lot of school in my life, but I'll start to work and to work hard.
Yeah.
So when you work hard, it pays off, regardless if you go to school or not. I mean, if you go to school, it's great. But if you don't get a chance to go to school because of whatever reason,
Resources.
yeah, you make it work. You know, you want to be the best. You train like the best.
Yes.
So yeah.
And it's noticeable. We can see that with you being a small business owner, a successful small business owner.
Yeah. So, as a Latina myself, I can completely understand this following question. So, as a Latinos, can you talk about a moment when you faced criticism or doubt from others? How did you handle it, and what did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, in our community, it's sad, but it's true. But we kind of don't like to see other people be successful at something. So when
In our Latino community.
Right. So when you start something, people don't have that faith, or they don't give you that support. You know, because they think you're just gonna be another one that's gonna fail. But that also gives you strength to not to listen, because
prove them wrong.
Yeah. So I did had at the beginning. Nobody believed me. It was gonna work. I started with 2 jumpers, 10 tables, 100 chairs, and I borrowed money from my mom to start this. All right. So and I put all my work into it. So people that knew that I was doing that, they just saw me as another normal party rental business. It's just another one that you do under the table, and that you don't,
As a hobby.
right. You just do it on your time off to make extra income. I didn't thought it that way. I thought it in a different way. I'm a welder as a trade for
Your
trade.
background?
Yeah. And when I found out I was gonna have twins, I said my job is not gonna be enough to pay to raise my kids. So my wife, she told me to start into the business, rental business for parties, events, jumpers. I didn't listen, but then when I found out I was gonna have twins, I said, "Oh, you gotta
You
do
really
it."
need to, yeah.
So I started. That's how I started it, because I was gonna have twins, and I knew that my paycheck was not gonna be enough, and I wanted to bring extra cash in. So I did it on the weekends. I work 7 days a week. I mean, 5 days of my job, Monday to Friday, and weekends I used to do that. And every cent that I made, I put it back into business. I never some money for myself. Bought more table, bought more chairs, bigger equipment. That's how.
And now you have the phone.
And I had the phone.
At that moment, how did you get your business out there?
First of all, word of mouth is the best. But I started advertising on Craigslist when Craigslist was still.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I started advertising on Craigslist because it was free.
Yeah.
So you put your little ad there, and
And that was before Facebook, before
Right.
Instagram.
I
before
even what I
everything.
did, I made a little what do you call flyer,
Announcement.
flyer, and I put like little packages, tables, chairs, and bouncer, and I went in and stick it into the mailboxes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see the
okay.
mailboxes in communities.
Yeah.
So I put it there, taped it down good, and believe it or not, that one day that I put it, I rented my 2 jumpers the same day.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
I posted, and I asked the lady, says, "How did you get it?" He says, "You posted on the mailbox, and that's how we called you."
Nice.
Oh, okay. And the other one was through Craigslist. They saw it, and they called me, and I booked my 2 jumpers, a few tables and chairs, and I was happy.
Nice.
So you were determined to get the business going.
Yeah, because how you're gonna get to know yourself? I mean, you have to be a way that people know what you're doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you gotta let them know where you're at. So I said, people go to mailboxes, pick up their mail.
That's
You know?
really smart. A
Yeah.
smart way of thinking.
And I think that's important. Like when you start something, you got to be determined to finish it. At least
Yes.
follow through.
Yes.
Right. But I think it follows with passion.
Definitely.
So, do you have passion for what you do?
At this moment, I do because I did it for my kids. Right. That's
We'll
where it
say
started.
necessity.
Right.
Yeah.
But I knew that if I keep pushing, I can move it to the next level. Did I just want to be a hobby just to bring extra cash? Yeah, I can do that. But I want to work for myself. I don't want to work for another company because people come and go, and when you work for someone else, nobody's that's forever. For whatever reason, they let you go. And I learned that in my job as a welder that I could be let go anytime. And so what am I going to do? So when they learned that I had a business, they kind of would put pressure on me and say, you need to work overtime. Just coming early, going late. And I said, no.
They wanted to crush your dreams.
Yeah, and I said, no, because they knew I was doing a side business. They didn't want me to I guess, spend time following what I wanted to do. So they got mad at me and said, "Oh, you don't want to work with us overtime or extra days because you have a business." I go, "Yeah, that's true. I have a business." And he said, "Well, we need you to work more." I go, "I can't do it." He said, "Because by any given day you decide to let me go," I said, "my business is gonna pay for my bills." And I said, "Don't take me wrong. I love my job. Because it's a trade. When you're a welder, it's a trade. You get it forever. It's yours."
Yeah.
But I said no. I said because any given time you guys get tired of me, you're gonna fire me, and then my business is gonna pay for me. I'm not gonna come back and work for you guys or work for someone else. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how many years were you welding and doing the small business on the side?
I did it 5 years together.
And when did you decide you were just going to focus on the small business?
It was a key factor that my kids were turning 5 and they were ready to go to kinders, to school, to start school. And we never had a babysitter. Either the mom or me will take care of the kids. We'll do everything. We never had a babysitter in our lives. So we talked and said, the kids are going to go to school. We need somebody to go drop them and pick them up. Okay, and we thought about, hiring a babysitter, do daycare, stuff like that. So, no, we did the math, and it's just going to be too expensive. I was doing okay and managed. She was doing okay. She has her career and everything. But we did the math. It was just not going to cut it. So I had some savings, and I told her that I was going to quit my job and be the babysitter. And be a stay-home dad. At that time, I already had 5 years in the business. I had more equipment. I had more clients, and I saw that it was working. It was bringing in money. Okay, And then I did the math and said, look, if I can bring this much money, we're going to be fine. So I pulled all my money out from my savings and just bought everything, bought a bunch of equipment. And she's like, are you crazy? You're getting all your savings out? I go, look, I said, if it doesn't work, I can sell my equipment or I can store it and I can go buy welding. Okay, welding pays good. I go, but let's give it a chance. I said, I'm going to go to school, take the kids to school, pick them up from school, do homework, everything, and I'm going to do my business as well. And she's like, you're crazy. I go, well, if I don't try it, I'm not going to know.
Yeah.
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 And she's like, okay.
Take a risk.
So I did pull all my money out and just bought a bunch of equipment and let it go.
And fortunately, it has worked out.
It has
Yeah.
worked out very well. And I don't regret it, leaving my job for a vision, for something that you want to do. I don't.
That's
I miss
awesome.
welding.
Yeah. Well, that can be your
Now it
your
could be,
side hobby.
yeah.
Yeah.
So building a business often requires a strong support system. Who were some key figures in your life who helped you along the way, and how did they influence your journey?
That's a great question. Just before COVID, what's her name? Natalie McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
She followed me on Instagram. And they had a small business at that time, the carpet cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, hi, I'm your neighbor. Okay, good. She's like, should you come to the chamber? And I didn't pay attention to it. A year passed by and she's like, Jose, come to the chamber. It's only a meeting. Go check it out, meet people. If you don't like it, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So she brought me into the chamber. And then I met Harry. And then you know Harry.
We know Harry.
Yeah.
Viewers,
she was the
watchers, or
one. She
speakers.
dragged me in. She believed in me, I guess, because she waited a full year and she kept pushing. And I said, okay, I'm going to give it a try.
She was persistent.
She was persistent, yeah. And then I met Harry, and then that changed. That gave my business a 360-degree turn.
How so?
It was great because when you go to chambers, you meet business people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And if you want to be in business, you want to be with that kind of people that do business as well.
That think like you.
Yeah, think like you. Yeah. You know, if you want to be serious with what you do, you meet with people that have like-minded, that kind of mentality. Say, hey, I can do business with you. He can do business with you. Anybody can do business. But you got to have that mentality of you want to be good, you train with good.
Mm-hmm.
You work good as they do. And you share stories and you share ideas.
Yeah.
And I did also copy my competitors. Because I wanted to see how they were doing it, what kind of equipment they had.
It's called research study.
Okay. Well, I
We'll
researched
say
a lot. Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, so you have made yourself a name in Eastvale, winning awards and recognitions. What do you think sets your business apart and has allowed you to connect with not only the community of Eastvale, but as well with the local businesses?
You know, I wanted to have equipment that was going to stand. I want to have a good product that I can be proud of. And I wanted the city to know who I was. So I got myself involved. After the kids started school, I said, I'm in the party rental industry.
You're in the fun.
Yeah, I'm in the fun,
field.
but all these kids have birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
All these kids has mom and dad that, you know, do anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to go to school with my kids, see one of my kids. One of them has ADHD. So I used to go to school every day and sit with them to help him learn, stuff like that, because
Focus,
he moves a lot. So since I was in the party industry, I wanted to be part of the city. I said, well, I'm working in school. I want to get into the schools as well, you know, show these parents that I have this business. And so I started participating in schools. I started going to events that the city has. I started going to the parks, and I said, all these kids there playing sports, playing the jungle gyms. I said, I could bring the fun to the house. So I said, I have two kids that go to school here, and I want my kids to be proud of what I do. So I used to tell my kid, hey, tell your friends, your teacher, that your dad rents tables, chairs,
Promotion.
jumpers, and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah.
Little mini entrepreneurs.
Exactly. So I told him, I go, you be proud of, I want to be proud of you. I want you to be proud of me. So you let them know who I am. So, and I started focusing a lot in the city. I mean, I put a lot of the city because my kids are growing in the city. They were born there. And it was a great city, and I want to be part of it. So I got myself involved in it a lot in the city.
Very nice. I know, I personally know that the name to your business has a meaning. Can you explain to everybody
Yeah.
what
That
it
was my next
stands for?
question, too.
Yeah, it's the Y, the first letter for my kids. I have twins. First one is Yahel, and the second one is Yahir. So I wanted a name that it was going to be easy to remember, and it was just going to stand. Okay. So I named it Y and Y. And I said, well, I gotta add more to it, because what is it? I said, Y and Y event and party rentals. And that's how I stand. Somebody made me a logo, and that's what it is. And now you go to Facebook and ask Google, say Y and Y, it pops right away.
Yeah.
It's really easy to remember.
It stands out.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. And I love that you have little kids jumping in the
Yeah,
in
the little jumpers right there.
in
Yeah.
the jumpers. It's so cute. That's so funny. So, last but not least, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self or those who are trying to start their own business, what would it be?
Start young. Visualize what you want to do. Do you want to work for someone else, or you want to work for yourself? So you start young. First you choose what you want to do, okay? And then you meet people that are doing what you want to do. You ask questions. You follow them. You share stories with them. So you start young, and then you work your way up. But you gotta be consistent. You can't take breaks. When you're a business owner, I don't care how big or small you are, you don't take breaks. We're the first one to get up early in the morning, and we're the last one to go to bed. And when something goes wrong, it's all on you. It's all on you. You don't blame anybody.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's not easy, but it's not difficult. The reward at the end is so amazing, because you know what you have. You believe that something, at some point maybe you doubted yourself, but if you keep pushing, sooner or later it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
Just like the baseball.
Yeah.
You keep throwing the ball,
And you're eventually
try to
gonna-
hit it.
Yeah.
You're gonna score. You're gonna do a home run.
That's awesome.
So you practice, and you're gonna get there. You work hard.
That reminded me of I went to an event and there was this entrepreneur coach or inspirational speaker, and she gave this analogy of comparing being an entrepreneur to giving birth, because you have to go through the pain, you go through the process, and then the last one was pushing. You just gotta push through.
Yeah.
Through the pain, and the reward comes after.
Yeah,
So that's awesome.
I can see that, but you have to be patient as well. 'Cause nothing comes fast. You have to be patient. You have to be consistent, and you have to believe in yourself, because there's a lot of people who don't believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you have and what's worth it.
I like that you say that. You have to believe in yourself. It's easy to say,
Yeah.
right? So can you tell us what are some of the things you did to keep yourself motivated Because as a self-employed or entrepreneur, you don't have anybody telling you, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, or keeping you accountable. You got to do that yourself.
Right.
So what are some things that you did to help you stay on top of things?
You know, I never had a dad. I know who he is. All right. So I never had a hero that takes me to a baseball game or a soccer game, that takes me to a park, that spanks me every now and then. You know, never gotta pull my ears.
Pull your ears.
You know, never give me a good advice. I never had that hero. So my boys are my greatest inspiration because I wanted to have a dad, something I never had. All right. So I said, I'm gonna make this business work because of my boys. And when it's my time, they're gonna take over. They at this moment they wanna be the owners already. I go, well, yeah, you gotta work for it. Well, you're the owner. I go, well, I'm the owner, yeah, but you gotta work it too. I can't just give everything to you at the table. So my greatest inspiration was them, and I do it for them. I go to sleep late. I mean, we've done events, you know, and it's a lot of work, a lot of physical work. It's a lot of hours. For events, it's a lot of preparation before. Gotta make sure you have everything ready to go, and after, because you gotta take it to storage and put it away and be ready for the next event. So it's not easy. It's not easy, but you gotta have passion. You gotta know. You gotta have a good reason why you do what you do. And to me, it's my kids. I mean, I get everything from these guys because I didn't have that here.
And I can see that kind of touches your heart a little.
It does because sometimes sometimes I cry. I cry, especially in Father's Day because I didn't have a dad. You know, and
Something that you never experienced.
Right.
And now you're experiencing it on a whole different level.
And another different level, exactly. So I want to give back. I want to give to my kids what I didn't get.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sorry.
Don't be sorry.
It gets emotional. You know,
I said I'm gonna make people cry in this.
Because, you know, knowing from where I'm from, and know where I'm at, it's just another world, and another opportunity in life. That's the way I see it. Coming from El Salvador, I tell my kids that I used to make my own toys. They say, how? I go, well, you can become creative with what you have.
Yeah.
And I tell my kid that I used to play soccer a lot, and said, Dad, you never had a toy. You go, I never had a toy, but we make toys. How do you make a soccer ball? I go, you get all these plastic wraps. You get a string, and you put all together, you string it, put it all together, make it sort of like in a baseball sort of thing. I keep saying baseball. I'm not a big baseball fan, but I guess because the Dodgers run or something. Anyway, so I used to make my own soccer balls. So making a little ball, tying the string, add more trash because it was trash, newspaper, plastic bags, whatever, and make it into that. And eventually, you kick it so many times, it gets destroyed.
Yeah.
And you start over again. But it's fun. You know, I used to make my own little marbles. How do you make marbles? Well, clay.
Wow.
You know?
Oh.
Yeah, clay. You put it into little balls, and you put it in the sun, let it dry. That's your marble.
Wow.
Okay. You make your own car. How you make your own car? Okay, get a
So
piece
you're
of,
an engineer too.
how do you make a car? Is there get a stick and put two those caps, beer caps,
Yeah.
and those are your wheels.
Oh,
Stuff
wow.
like that. It's a lot of things, and I told one time to my kids that it was during Christmas time that they asked me if in El Salvador there was Santa. What did Santa used to bring me? Guess, you know, I said there was no Santa in El Salvador. They're like, what do you mean? I go, no. I make my own toys. So Santa never brought me a toy. So my son, he wrote a letter to Santa. All right. And you know how they make the list of all the stuff they want. And they said, one of them wrote a letter that said, and asked Santa to bring me a TV.
Aww.
Because I never had a Santa in my country.
Wow.
And when I read that letter, I cried.
I bet you did.
That's touching.
That is very emotional. And I think it touches on your pain.
Yeah.
In a sense, right?
Yeah.
That's so sweet of him.
Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story.
You're welcome.
It's very inspiring, and I hope that you all can tune in and hear his story as well. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share our video.
Yes. One more thing. Where can we not purchase, but rent your equipment? If we have a party or event?
Where?
Yes.
Yes.
It's easy. Google. You Google and you'll find me first. And then, of course, Instagram, Facebook, word of mouth, or the chamber.
Awesome.
Yes.
We'll share your links
Yes.
in the description
Definitely.
below. So thank you guys for tuning in, and hope this inspirational story brings something valuable into your life. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.